The ongoing US-China trade rivalry isn't just a clash of two global superpowers. It's a battle shaping the future of technology, economic policies, and geopolitics. At the core of this conflict lies a race for dominance in critical technologies like semiconductors, AI, and quantum computing. While the United States has imposed strict export controls to secure its technological edge, these measures have backfired in unexpected ways, fueling a fierce response from China and reshaping the global economic order. But this isn't a simple story of tit-for-tat sanctions. It's a saga of power, innovation, and economic resilience that affects not only the two nations, but also the entire global economy. Stick around to discover how these politics impact you, and don't forget to like and share this video to support in-depth analysis of global issues. To curtail China's access to cutting-edge technologies, the US has enacted some of the most stringent trade restrictions in its history. These include blacklisting major Chinese firms like Huawei and SMIC, tightening the foreign direct product rule, and banning exports of advanced semiconductor manufacturing tools. The goals are clear. National security, which is preventing Chinese advancements in technologies that could threaten US security, and technological dominance, retaining leadership in key sectors like semiconductors and AI. However, the outcomes have been far from straightforward. China has responded with equal vigor, employing measures designed to hit back where it hurts most. Beijing restricted exports of rare earth materials essential for high-tech manufacturing, a move that sent shockwaves through global supply chains. Massive state investments in R&D have accelerated breakthroughs in Chinese technology. For example, companies like SMIC have made strides in semiconductor manufacturing despite US restrictions. China has strengthened ties with non-US technology providers in Europe, Asia, and even Russia, reducing its dependence on American supplies. These countermeasures have bolstered China's technological resilience and challenged the effectiveness of US policies. Ironically, the US export controls have caused significant disruptions at home, leading American tech companies such as Nvidia, AMD, and Lam Research have reported revenue losses due to limited access to the Chinese market. This has reduced their economies of scale, potentially undermining their global competitiveness. Meanwhile, China's tech sector is proving more resilient than expected. Huawei's latest smartphones and AI chips are prime examples of Chinese innovation thriving under pressure. These developments underscore how export controls may be accelerating the very technological advancements they sought to contain. Do you think these US measures are helping maintain its global edge or inadvertently strengthening China's position? Share your thoughts in the comments. The US-China trade war officially began during Donald Trump's presidency, signaling a dramatic shift in their economic relationship. Here is how it unfolded. In 2018, the US imposed tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods, citing intellectual property theft, forced technology transfers, and unfair trade practices. China responded with tariffs of its own, targeting key US exports such as soybeans and pork. This move hit American farmers particularly hard. The Phase 1 deal signed in January 2020 aimed to ease tensions, with China committing to increased purchases of US goods. However, the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted progress, leaving commitments unmet by 2021. As the trade war dragged on, the economic toll became evident, not just for the US and China, but for the global economy. During Trump's re-election campaign, his administration doubled down on measures targeting Chinese products and materials. This included complete export bans. China announced a total ban on rare earth exports to the US, impacting critical industries like aerospace, defense, and renewable energy. And supply chain disruptions. The ban highlighted the risks of over-reliance on single-source suppliers, prompting companies worldwide to reconsider their supply chains. These moves demonstrated China's strategic leverage in the trade war, while US manufacturers struggled to adapt to soaring costs and material shortages. The rivalry between the US and China has extended beyond trade and technology into the financial realm, with the BRICS nations Brazil, Russia, China, India, and South Africa actively working to reduce reliance on the US dollar. The stakes have never been higher. China, in particular, is championing this effort through several key strategies. First one is promoting the yuan, encouraging its use in international trade and establishing currency swap agreements with other nations. Next is launching yuan-denominated assets, offering financial instruments like bonds to attract foreign investment in its currency. And finally, strengthening BRICS collaboration. The new development bank based in Shanghai is a prime example of how these nations aim to counterbalance US-led financial systems. These efforts pose a growing challenge to the dollar's global dominance. As countries explore alternative payment systems, the financial landscape could be on the brink of transformation. The US-China trade war is far more than a bilateral conflict. It's a blueprint for how nations compete in a multipolar world. Here is why it matters globally. The extraterritorial nature of US policies has strained relationships with allies like the EU and Japan. Companies are diversifying their operations to reduce risks, potentially weakening US economic influence. BRICS initiatives to bypass the dollar signal a shift toward a more decentralized global financial system. The US-China trade war isn't just about tariffs or export controls. It's a battle over the future of global power. While the US aims to curb China's rise, its policies have often had unintended consequences, fueling innovation and resilience in Beijing. Meanwhile, BRICS nations' push to reduce dollar dependency adds a new dimension to this already complex rivalry. As we navigate these turbulent times, one thing is clear: the outcomes of this rivalry will shape the global economy and geopolitics for decades to come. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on global developments. Your support makes all the difference. See you in the next video.